Theodicy on Sunday. How can there be a God if evil exists? How can we allow our faith to persist? Why do some still upon theism insist? Perhaps if there is evil, it is easy to allow our faith to desist. This is an extol and list of a theodicy. Many believe good and evil creates an hypocrisy, yet we can find a way to marry the concept with a God innocuously. That is, harmoniously we can form a belief conspicuously. Sometimes people change their concept of their deity to restore balance. How can a God with omnipresence, omnipotence permit evil's semblance, especially if the God is all-powerful with benevolence? The simple answer is that it is not possible to directly validate in essence. Firstly, in such a discussion, if there was no evil, there would be no good. So it must be good to be evil sometimes. But that does not mean we should. The sweet just isn't as sweet without the bitter, something we all realize into adulthood. Good and evil distinguishable in opposition like a drought and a flood. We can say there is two forms of evil, the natural and human form. How can we explain a tsunami or a cataclysmic storm? Perhaps there are laws to the universe that were formed when it was born. If so, God has no control over the order. Are we then to be scorned? The degree of these natural evils is on a small scale, or it seems to be. Devastating indeed, yet localized, and the rest of the world is from destruction free. This is not to depreciate the devastating impact that we often see. It is to remind us that the natural evil is never the size of Armageddon ostensibly. Microbes and diseases, genetic and environmental, are contentious. There are cures developed each day by the ingenious, yet the death of the young ones is for me sensuous. On this point I cannot comment or be sensuous. Yet how they live is remarkable and uplifting when they face adversity, and to take away the message that they teach the able is a perversity. They offer a perception, a lens on life that offers diversity, and sadly, genetic difference and mutation is the only thing that sustains humanity through our biodiversity. The evil of death is in a theodicy a difficult thing to comprehend, but without death there could be no new life to on earth attend, and morality rates all across the world continue to extend, and we appreciate our mortal frames as life and death are hemmed. The human form of evil with volition, people choose to do wrong. People who are meek and weak are often subjugated by the strong, but the acts of kindness arguably drowned out the flawed like a choir in a song. Lest we forget, we the creatures known as humans have had free will all along. This evil doing that many do, a product of our thinking sentient minds. If we were simply robotic automatons, what sense of self would we find? We, a thinking animal, the gods and morality we combined, and in pain and suffering our character is built and refined. If living were easy, what achievement in the heavens would we have to show? In suffering, pain and trials, we allow our souls to grow. So although there is suffering that people sow, we can retain our dignity and revel and rise in the know. This world, an imperfect wilderness designed to perfect the imperfect. To in our defects allow us to develop and collect ourselves, and of our souls detect. There are many different forms of theodicy to have in your mind erect. There are interchangeable explanations as one would expect. The laws of the universe that God created govern our living life, our freedom and free will, something that should not make us unforgiving. The number of the beast is man, blame is not for dithering. So can we marry evil's existence with the Creator who is life-giving? Theodicy.